Hello, kings, queens, princesses, dragons, and toasters, and everything else in between because I don't have time to say the rest. Welcome to a tips and tricks guide to Graveyard Keeper. While the scene is loading in, let me just tell you, like, share, subscribe if you don't find me annoying, because I know a lot of you do. Also, it's free, and if you don't like me, just unsubscribe. Also, turn on notifications if you do subscribe because I never know when I'm available. Either way, let's load right on in. The first tip is that the first body that you actually have, when you're ripping out the flesh, if you are fast enough, you will be able to go into the interaction menu and then be able to pick it up immediately after. You'll skip a little bit of dialogue, but hey, it saves time in a little bit. The next one is, in the graveyard, save the old wooden stuff that you take off of the graves. Those can be transformed into stuff that you can use. Another thing is that you want to get the farm as soon as possible, because it's a great moneymaker. Plus, you'll need it later on. Another thing is, when you're coming back from town, whenever you go to town, use the money that you got from the grave certificate to buy a few carrot seeds, because, well, you're gonna want to produce them in mass quantities eventually. Also, talk to them about what the farming can do so that you can get those recipes. Here you'll see me buying 12 seeds because, well, if you haven't played before, each farm plot takes 4 seeds of any kind, and 4 times 3 is 12, so I'll just buy that and be on my way. The next tip is, if you know that you're not going to use something at your main base, just destroy it. I know that I use the quarry for all my stonework, so I don't need a stone table here. Another thing is, go under your house and tear out all of the stuff down there. It gives pretty good resources for when you're starting off. As well as the grain can be made into bread, which is quite a nice resource for energy. Another thing down here is, in the chest, as you'll see in a little bit, there is a recipe for baked apple and baked mushrooms, and those are actually pretty good for energy too if you need it daily. Either way, let's move on to the next thing, which is back outside instead of inside. Above your place in the swamp area, I get lost every time, but above your place is quite a bit of iron, and if you mine all of this, you'll get like 30 to 50 pieces of iron depending upon your game, and it's really useful at the start when you need iron tools and all that. Either way, next thing is that while you should sort stuff into their respective areas, such as working materials into the outdoor workyard bin. Also, if you need wood, which you will need wood, you can get a good bit of it from this little forest patch right here, right next to your house. If you do run out of that wood, I have a place that I'll show you a little later in the video. But either way, as you can see right there, I have 3 logs already, and you'll get about 10 if you have certain perks and stuff from this area. You'll also get flowers and mushrooms. Either way, next thing you might want to do as soon as possible is go up to that one place and stuff. But as you can see here, the farm pays off within about maybe a weekish. And yes, you do lose seeds, but meh. If you do need wood, which you will, you can just go above your house, and there's a few areas with wood. Back to that box thing, when you have the materials, you should go up there because it's a much faster way to the quarry than the other route. But when you are going up here, you want to make note of this giant tree if you have the zombie mod thing. Otherwise, just start walking this way, and the flowers are useful for energy if you need it fast, or if you just want to replenish energy as you're picking flowers, because each flower gives you 3 energy, each flower takes 2. Either way, when you get up here, you'll most likely want all of the mining stuff and a farming equipment thing here too. Up here, you'll also want to bring a lot of those wedges so that you can actually get stone. Each time you do, you'll get like 2 slabs of stone, which gives you quite a bit of stone in the end, either way. There's also a marble quarry, which you'll have to upgrade stuff for, and then a iron mine, which is useful for whenever you run out of iron or you need aluminum or something later on in the game. But the most important part about over here isn't those. It's actually the coal mine that is right here above where you were walking earlier to get here. And this is good because instead of giving you like 1 piece or 2 pieces, you will actually get about 30 pieces of coal each time you mine it. Here I only got 29, but it goes from that to 30. Now, on the topic, if you do break your pickaxe, you can just go to the blacksmith at least once and trade in the old pickaxe for the new pickaxe. And you may want to trade in a few spare nails or a few simple iron parts or something. Don't do it as uselessly as I did. You'll also want to get a teleport stone as soon as possible because boy, it is useful. Another tip is before you actually progress to being a pastor in your church, you want to gather all of the things that you can that don't actually require blue parts because those are useful in getting more blue parts and all. Either way, now that we're at the end of the video, I would just like to thank all of you for actually watching these things, because I know I am boring, and yes, this is one of the only videos that I've actually edited and done a voiceover of. As you can hear, you can't actually hear music in the background. And that is because, 1, I didn't want it to be contaminated with cars outside, and 2, it would have been contaminated by sounds outside of my room. Either way, like, share, subscribe, share this with your friends or anyone you know who plays this game and has a hard time during the first few days of the game, because you're only really ever not a pastor for the first week or maybe 3. I think in this game it took me about 2 weeks to actually get to where I am now.